Well, here it is, folks, in all its glory. And like I said, she's a little mangled. K-frame area is okay. Frame is nice and straight, but she's kind of mangled. How we doing out there in YouTube land? Back for another episode. This one's going to be a little different. Time is not my friend. I'm sure it's probably not yours either. Anybody who works a regular job and tries to have a hobby at the same time, a lot of times job gets in the way. And I have, if you count YouTube, I have 3 jobs. Basically 2. I have that, my small business selling Mopar car parts, antique car parts. And I also have a regular job that's, 7 to 3 every day. And then, of course, I have this YouTube channel, which I'm trying to get off the ground. And you can help with that, by the way, just subscribe. But we'll get into that later. I'm going to do something a little bit different today. And I'm just going to kind of show you what to expect on this channel in the near future, or in the future. I don't know how near it's going to be, because time kind of determines all of that. But I figured I'd give you all a little insight on what I've got lined up for the future. And this does not include everything, because like the last video I just published on putting windshield wipers in my truck, which by the way is kind of a flop. For whatever reason my truck's not real popular, but yeah, that's probably because it's 9,000 on the road. There's probably 9,000 videos on that. But nonetheless, I bring you into my garage every time I work on something, so we just kind of leave it at that. Whether if you don't like it, just don't watch it, right? But anyway, so this episode is literally going to be what to expect on YouTube, probably in the next year or so. Because winter comes, things are going to change. Okay, I'm even going to show you my secret car, which you've got a glimpse of it, but you only got a glimpse of the engine. But I'm going to actually show you the car, sort of, and give you an idea on what to expect there. So I'm going to show you all my projects I have lined up for the future. I'm standing next to the next one. Okay, we finished the Gremlin. We got a few bugs to work out of it, but I'm still working on that. I'll probably have one more video taking it for a ride, blah, blah, blah. But I'm not in a hurry on that, because I'm sure a lot of you, except you AMC guys, you guys rock, by the way. A lot of you are probably tired of seeing the Gremlin because you want to go back to the Corvettes or maybe something different. Okay, this Corvette has been waiting to get painted for months, all winter, because it got too cold and I couldn't finish the paint job. And this is my bubbling paint, because these things are notorious for bubbling paint. I don't know why. So I've got all that fixed, and you can see I've got primer on here. I've got a couple of tiny spots. There's a little bit of lead here, or putty, whatever you want to call it, spot putty, and a little spot back there. Other than that, she's pretty much ready to find sand and shoot her. I usually like 400 or 500 grip sandpaper to do the final shoot on a car. This is the next project, okay? If it doesn't rain next week, I meant to do it this weekend, but I ran out of time. I still have some parts I got to pull for customers. It's getting late on a Sunday. Yesterday I had to get the shop ready. We had to do a thorough cleaning on the shop because I can't paint when there's tons of dirt on the floor. I can't paint when there's cobwebs everywhere. And I can't paint when I can't see. So I had to put light bulbs in all my lights so I can see. Okay, so that's the next project. We're going to go ahead and do the final paint. And I got a surprise. I'm not going to tell you. You got to watch it. It should hopefully be in the next couple of weeks. There's a surprise on this car. There's some things I'm doing to this old girl that nobody expects. Not even my family. They don't even know about it. This is something I've been planning on doing, and I've already got the materials to make it happen. So the next few weeks, we'll hopefully be doing a final paint on this, my little surprise, and then we'll put her back together. This one runs and drives, so it'll be just a matter of getting her pretty, sending her on. Well, just going to drive her. So that is the next project. So stay tuned for that one, and I'm getting ready to show you the very next project. Which one do I want to show you next? Let me think for a minute, and then we'll get started. This was a pretty easy decision because I didn't have to go very far to show you this. So ready? There it is. This car right here. I'm going to have to go way, 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 way up so you can get a good look at her. Please, I apologize if it's moving around a bit, but you know, I've got it like 10 feet in the air. But this is the next project. This is my 1976 Stingray. You've seen her on other videos. Sorry about the video on this one. Trying to keep it steady and, you know, hold it up over my head at the same time. This old girl's 454 4-speed, and I'll show you a little snippet of a video I'm working on for it. I was doing a burnout, or trying to, and she just lost all power, and all of a sudden, she just started making a flap, 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 flap sound. I'm like, no, not my baby. So anyway, let's just give you a quick walk around on her. Like I said, this is not easy because she's actually on the lift right now. So, and there we go. Kind of bring her down to earth so you can see where I'm looking at her. See? That's how she's looking to me. So anyway, sorry about the shaking on that one. I had to, you know, like this, you know, way up here, and I was holding the tripod way, way up because you can see the car. Where's the car? Where? Here, that way. There, now you can see it. Sometimes the cameras are funky, you know, trying to make sure you're in the camera. It's weird. So I apologize for my video quality. I've had some folks complain about that. I apologize. I am not an audiovisual guy, even though I did work in audiovisual for Disney for a couple of years. But that was just like hooking stuff up. I didn't actually take the pictures. But anyway, this old girl has been mine for 20. Man. How old was I when I bought her? Like 32? Like 25 years or more. And she started off as a L48 Wheezy small block with a slush box automatic. Put a shift kit in it, and I think we actually chirp, you know, second and third gear. Now she's got my wife took her for a drive, and she caught on fire. Burned up all the wiring under the hood, and I had her sitting in the garage looking all sad. And I had a big block sitting on a stand that was going to something else. And I was actually going in a BMW, 3 Series BMW that I was going to build a race car out of, and that's still sitting out here in the field. One of those things I put it all together and lost interest and parted it out. But anyway, this car metamorphosized into a 454, and I eventually just put it in a 4-speed. You can watch that, me putting the 4-speed in it. Just changed it over to that because I like to roll my own, you know. But when I was doing a burnout, she started, I think she blew a head gasket. Just lost all the power. And then I was thinking, and I'm hoping this is it, but I think I lost the head gasket. If you watch my video on adjusting the valves, when I did that, I noticed that all of them were very, 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 very loose. And I had to really crank them way down there to get them to where they were, took the play out of them. And then I thought about it. I hadn't run the car in months, probably years before I did that. And if I did, I didn't run it very long. I'm thinking maybe the lifters, I'm hoping, I could be wrong. We'll find out. We're going to get to that. That's one of the projects. Maybe the lifters, just when they finally pumped up, they weren't letting the valves close. And that would cause that kind of a smacking sound because it's, popping through the carburetor. So maybe it messed things up. I don't know. I'm gonna get to that project. She's coming next after we finish with this Corvette. We're gonna go back to that Corvette. So all you Corvette guys, don't unsubscribe. We're getting back to the vets for a little while. And then once we find out what's wrong with this little girl, we get her back on the road. I got a little bit of paint to go on this because she had a little accident when her brakes went bad. Don't drive a car with bad brakes, folks. Bad idea. Even though it was just in and out of the garage, I used the emergency brake, and when I let go of the emergency brake, it didn't ratchet because things get sticky when they sit for a long time. I pulled her up, she stopped. I was good. I let her go before I put her in park, and guess what? Boom! The emergency brake fell back down because the ratcheting thing stuck open, and she went into the back wall, and there was a Hemi sitting back there. Right? Hemi, getting its vengeance on the Chevrolet, right? Backs right into that Hemi and boogers up the side of the car. So, and I guess I can show you that, so hang on, we'll show it to you. There it is on all its ugliness. See, that's what the Hemi did down the side there. She kind of just caught that quarter panel, and then, of course, the rest of the car hit the wall and boogered that up, messed up the tail light. And but that's the extent of it. Not too horrible. According to the insurance company, it was $5,000. Horrible enough, I guess. So we got to fix that. So that's that. And so that's project number 2. I'm not sure what row this is going to go in. Stuff like that I usually save for the winter. Paint, I'll probably try to do, while the weather's still good. As soon as it starts getting cold, I usually go back to doing engine fabrication kind of stuff. Both of these just need paint, cosmetic paints, put together kind of stuff. So these are summer jobs. I've got a bunch of This happens every video. It just doesn't want to come out. I gotta try to say it in like another language or something. I don't know. Talking in tongues, right? For you Pentecostal people, talking in tongues, right? I must do it accidentally. I don't know, but nonetheless. These are summer jobs, trying to get both of these Corvettes with their paint, anything with paint, and the Gremlin too. The Gremlin's going to get, I'll show you how to put a shine on there for cheap money. And it makes it better, okay? So just hang in for that. There's one more, maybe a couple more Gremlins, but it's going to be a paint one. And I'm going to try to get that done before I lose my good weather too. So, three projects. Let's try one more finger. There we go, 3 projects so far, right? 2 Corvettes, 1 mechanical, 1 cosmetic, well, both cosmetic, 1 mechanical, and then more cosmetic on the Gremlin. And I got some bugs to work out. I may or may not video. We'll just play that by ear on the Gremlin. But trying to get away from the Gremlin for a little while. I love you AMC guys, and I love my AMCs. And there's more AMC coming, so don't give up. But I got to try to keep, things diversified. And I got so many projects. I'm almost 60 years old now, and I was going to buy another project, and the wife's like, "You're not going to live long enough to finish it." Sadly enough, she's probably right, because I think I'm going to be time minus the 3 plus 7 equals, old, really old, by the time I finish these projects. So anyway, I'm going to show you the next one. It's right here in the shop, sort of. Half of it's here in the shop. The other half is out there, outside, which is behind you, in front of me. So I'm going to show you this because I'm kind of proud of this. I did this yesterday. This stuff was everywhere, and it was collecting dust. And when I was getting ready to paint, I figured that dust would just end up on everything. Because I don't have a booth. We're going to do this garage kind of style, But I had it all over here, and it was just like you were tripping over stuff. So I got some shelving, and we made it happen. So I'm going to show you that now, and I'm kind of proud of it. It's just kind of silly, but I've got half a car sitting up on that shelf. I'm serious. No. A whole car-ish, minus the chassis. But I've got fenders, rear quarters, door skins, grill, gas tank, headers, and the engine's just below it. I've got camshaft, I mean, basically almost a whole car sitting on a shelf. So let's go ahead and look at that now. All right, there it is. We have headers, bumper brackets, floor pans, fenders, rear quarters, door skin, scoop. You gotta have a scoop, right? I mean, it's gotta have a scoop. Gas tank, steering wheel, little gills for the fenders. You gotta have those gills. Because I'm doing like a 71 front end on a 72. Don't crucify me, it's just what I like. Valve covers, those are for the 440. And there's other stuff in there that I can't remember what it is. But I promise you, that is all stuff for one car. And I'm going to show you the car, don't worry. But let me show you some more. And I'm going to show you the engine. There's not a lot to see right now because the heads are over the machine shop. But that's more than half the car right there. It's almost all the sheet metal. And I'm fixing to order the interior. Oh yeah, there's some interior stuff in there too. But I'm fixing to order the interior here shortly. And so we'll have to add to that a little bit later. But no hood yet. That's probably not going to fit up there. We'll find another place for the hood. But anyway, I'll show you the engine real quick. But it's not a lot to look at. It's just an engine. Are you excited now? It's an engine. But it's not just any engine. It's a 440. And it's not like anything special. It's just a 440. I think it's a 68 or 69 block, flat top pistons. I bought a, forget what cam. I didn't buy a huge cam. I want to drive the car, so I didn't buy a huge cam. It's gonna have a 4-speed. There's 6 or 8 or 12 of them laying around here somewhere, so she's gonna get a 4-speed. I am gonna use an overdrive, and you guys might be going, oh, an overdrive. But truth of the matter is, the overdrive units actually have the same first and second gear ratio, separation, whatever you want to call it, as the Hemi box, okay, as the 18 spline Hemi box. So I'm getting Hemi stuff for cheap money, right? Because nobody wants the overdrive. Plus, I have overdrive. Who doesn't want overdrive? You got a 440 with 355 gears, and everybody wants 355s. That's just what I got, and I'm not changing it. But I'd be happy with 323s. I mean, you got to drive it on the road, right? You go any higher than that, and you might as well just make it a race car or just a boulevard brawler because because you're not going to go on a highway with anything taller than a 355. And even at that, you'll be at like 3,800 RPMs if you don't have some kind of an overdrive. So I'm putting an overdrive box on it. I've got a few, so if I break one, I just put in another one. But I'm not going to make a ton of horsepower, probably 350, 400 horse maybe. You got to really tweak on these Mopars to get a lot of power. They're torquey, oh yeah, nice and torquey. But you really got to tweak on them to get that horsepower up in the 500 and 600 RPM, I mean 500 and 600 horsepower range, excuse me. No offense, I love Mopars, and the cool thing about a Mopar is if you put $1 in it, you'll get $1 back out. Unfortunately, I love my Corvettes, but I've already got more money in this 84 than I'd probably get out of it. My 76, I've just had it so long, she is starting to appreciate a little bit. Of course, I've made tons of modifications, and sometimes when you're starting with an L48 El Cheapo car, you can't hurt it. You put a big block in it, boom, value goes up. Put a 4-speed in it, boom, value goes up. Put it well, I already had a posi in it, but you know what I mean. You can't really hurt a car that doesn't really have really good number combination. You gotta, like these parts we're showing you. Yes, it's for a Barracuda. If you could read the box, it said Barracuda right on it. It's a 318 3-speed car. Not really worth much, right? Well, at least it's a 3-speed, right? Roll your own. And I've heard actually some of these 318 cars are a little bit rare. My 318 is gone. The transmission is gone. Pedals are still there, but that's good because that's like a $300 investment if you need to replace them, put them in. And most of the linkage is there, and that's also another couple $100 if you need to buy it. So that's good. Front end's kind of, I'll show it to you. She's a wreck, but I couldn't afford it any other way. I never was going to build an e-body simply because they're just so expensive. And then my wife was online looking. She goes, "Look, I found an e-body for reasonable money." I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. Of course, it was a shell, literally a shell. No doors, no fenders, no, it had a deck lid, but it's rusty. The front end is all mangled, you know, all the engine bay area. You know, the inner fenders, they're just like all mangled up, and I'll show it to you. Let's just go show it to you. Here it is, folks, in all its glory. And like I said, she's a little mangled. Paint frame area is okay. Frame is nice and straight, but she's kind of mangled. You're gonna need a windshield. This door. Well, let me give you a close-up of this door. Yeah, this is it. It's shot. So I've got door skins to go on this, and she's just as bad on the bottom. Funny thing is, it's not real well. It's got a dent here. This door skin's shot. But that's basically it. Rear quarters. They're sad too. I'm gonna have to make some room back here. She's getting some weeds. I'm fixing to move her, get her out of these weeds. But I'm gonna put her over there where I can cut the grass around her a little better. And as you can see, rear quarters not all that pretty, and that's pretty much what both sides look like. So it's a project, but I got it cheap, well, for what was left of it. The doors actually weren't even on it when I bought it, but the rest of it was intact, and it does have glass. That's usually my thing. If it's got glass, it's not so bad. But it was gutted inside, no interior, no steering column, no nothing. But the underpinnings are there. It does not have a sure grip rear, but she's a 318 3-speed car. And so I'm going to turn her into a 440 4-speed car, and hopefully that's going to be a project that y'all will want to watch. And like I said, I'm going to pull her out of these weeds here shortly, because they're not helping matters any. And it's too close to the road. I've had people drive through my fence because they're texting. Don't text and drive, folks. And don't drink and drive. Definitely don't do that. But this lady was text driving, and she smacked through my cross fence, my front fence, and into one of my trees. So yeah, don't do it. But nonetheless, I've got her protected by the old tractor here next to her. But I'm going to move her over by the next project I'm going to show you. This here is another project. This one's not too far down the road. This is just a parts car we bought, but she supposedly got a good engine. She turns by hand, so we're going to do a will it run on this one. And let me see, I think, let's go take a look at the plate and see how long it's been since she's run. I don't know if you can make it out, but right here in this corner, you'll see 99. So 1999 is the last time this old girl ran. And so we're going to do a revival on this one, see if we can't get her to run and drive, and that way I'll know if somebody needs an engine and transmission, they'll be good. I don't think I'll ever restore this car being a 4-door and all, but these parts will live on with another car. This is going to be another quick video, but if you'll notice, it's got a little problem here, you know. I bought this car for my daughter, and you know, it's for her to learn how to drive on, and it had a really ugly grill in it, so I did replace the grill already. I probably should have videoed that, but I had to kind of get it done in a hurry. She's got some boogers in the hood. I'm going to try to ding them out as best I can, but I'm going to try to do paintless repair here, although I might do a little touch up. But repairing this bumper is going to be another video that I'm going to do. It won't be a long one, but I'll show you the process in doing that. Here's another one we're going to do a revival on. I know she doesn't look like much, because there's a lot of parts missing already. But this old car has got a good running slant 6, at least that's what I was told. So just because, we're going to go ahead and do a revival on this one too. We're not going to drive her, because she's obviously not going anywhere. But we are going to see if we can get her running, see if that transmission works. And again, that way if somebody needs parts for this thing, we've got them. Because I want to keep these cars living, you know, maybe not this one, because nobody loves a 4-door. She was in good shape. But, you know, if you wanted a 4-door, I'd be more than happy to let you have, well, not let you have it, but get her to you on a price or something. But we're not here to sell cars. I'm here to let other cars live on, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much what I do, other than the cars I'm restoring. But this will be another let's see if she will run video. So again, this is something else you can look forward to seeing. If you like the will she run videos, then this is definitely going to be another one. So hang in there. Sooner or later, not sure when, we're going to do a will she run on this one as well. I wasn't actually going to show you all this car till I actually started on it. But I figure since this is the, let's intrigue you with what we're going to get done in these videos in the next year. This project is very soon. As soon as I get the 2 Corvettes done, painted issue if you will, and get the red one running right again. This is the project I'm going to start on. So, like the Price is Right or, I don't know, one of those game shows, what's behind door number 1? Well, wouldn't you like to know? See a raise of hands for anybody who wants to see what's inside here. Come on, don't be shy. Raise my eye. Okay, okay. I see that. So we're going to open it, okay? Whoa, chill, we're getting there, okay? Let's see what's behind door number 1. We got it locked up. This keeps me from coming in here and drooling too much. This is my dream, if you will. That red Corvette was my dream car for many, many years. But I've had it like 25 years now. So I still have her though, and still love her. But this is a vision. See my vision. So you're about to embark on inside the mind, my mind, you know, of David Essig, right? Oop, probably use the right key. Uh-oh, doesn't want to open. There we go. A little oil might help on that one. Okay, should we play? Anybody got any music? Come on. Bum, 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 right? I don't know. Maybe I'll, you know, dub something in that's cool. I don't know. We'll find out. But ready? Here we go. Suspense is killing me. Here we go. What? What'd you say? You don't want to see what? Oh, you do want to see it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Can anybody tell what it is? Yep, probably not. I apologize for the lighting, and you probably can't tell what this is by, I better get down here where you can see me. You probably can't tell what this little girl is just by looking at her unless you're a real big AMC fan. What this is a 68 Javelin. And this little girl is going to metamorphosize into a Mad Max car. You may have seen my video on the engine because it's a supercharged 400 Chevrolet engine. And I was going to go with a 4-speed, but I decided, mosquito, got him! Decided to go with an automatic just because this car is going to push probably between 500 and 600 horsepower. And she's not a very heavy car, and I think she's just going to be, you know, uncontrollable with a 4-speed, and I think I'm just going to be beating 4-speeds up like crazy, and just breaking things, and so I figured a well-built automatic. I've got a turbo 350 that I actually took out of that red Corvette. That's going to go in here, and this is as much as I'm going to show you on this car right now. I've got huge plans. This project is probably going to start in the winter time, because I've got some modifications I've got to make, put the engine in. I do have a little bit of painting before I can put the engine in, so I may try to get to that before winter, but if not, we'll go ahead and just put the motor together and do the body work that I have to do on it. She's very, very solid. Most of you guys that love these cars will probably be mad saying, don't cut off that car. I had a guy about begging me. He's like, sell me the car, sell it to me, don't do that. I'm not going to cut her up beyond repair. She's going to get a few little options here and there, and you'll see. But it's going to make me cringe a little bit because she does have such clean sheet metal that cutting into the sheet metal at all is just going to make me shudder a little bit. But with a supercharged engine, you can't just stick with the hood. You know what I mean? The hood just, yeah, it just doesn't work. So, unfortunately, we're going to have to do a little cutting. I have thought about getting a fiberglass hood, but that means I've got a metal one just hanging around doing nothing and taking up space, and I'm just not going to do that. and I've got what I've got. So for you purists, you might not want to watch this video, especially because it's getting a Chevrolet engine. You know, that engine you saw me put in the Gremlin, that's out of this. That was the engine that actually came out of this car. So it's living on somewhere else. But this is it. Yeah, I know I was looking at the, you know, little thing on the camera. It kind of looks like a Maverick, you know, in the video, but it's not. It's a Javelin, or if you don't know what a Javelin is, AMX. AMX is the two-seater version of this, but this is supposed to be, right, Mad Max car, the original one, was a police car, right? So it's going to have a back seat. And so that's what we got. Looking forward to getting this girl out of the trailer and into the shop where we can start on it. You can watch the video on the engine, just showing you the O-rings and what for it because of the blower. And it's starting to rain, so we're going to end this video because I don't think this camera will handle the water. But this is the last one. Those are the projects that we plan on tackling. There'll be other ones in between, as you saw the truck, and I've got one coming up just in the next, like soon. You know, I've got a bunch of my, you know, when my stuff breaks, I fix it and I video it. So, you know, there'll be other stuff that I haven't mentioned, but these are the main projects. Thank you for watching this one, and we'll get in the shop and maybe do a conclusion there, because it's raining out now. I almost forgot. This is my Mad Max shelf. This is all the stuff that is going in that car. And as you can see, if you want me to zoom in there, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry about that. I tried to zoom it, and yeah, shut it off. But again, this is all the stuff for the Mad Max car. And as you can see right in there, there's a 676 blower. And I'll go ahead and zoom in on that for you. And I think I've told you this, and it's going to shake a little. I'm sorry. There we go, trying to get a better view of that. Okay. There's a little story behind this scoop, and I think I've said it in another video, but I'll say it again. So here's the blower. It's just a 671. This is all the manifold and stuff. This scoop, there's a story behind that. I actually called, trying to find this, and I called the guy that was advertising it and could get no answer. And so I kept calling, and then finally I got a hold of somebody, and he says, the reason I haven't answered is because I no longer manufacture this. He says, I sold the patent to another guy, I sold the whole business to another guy, and so that guy is now the one making them. I said, well, I got news for you. I've tried calling that other guy, and he doesn't answer his phone. And then I found this. I found this guy's number. I forget how I found it, just through a search. And he said he had one left, and this was it. And I went in, and, you know, you can't really see it. You got to keep some things as a surprise, you know. But I'll bring it out when we get to that point, probably in the winter. And the guy said, I will sell you that scoop. It was a little more than I would have paid if I had to buy it from the guy that supposedly was manufacturing it but didn't. But, you know, I got one. And I'm so super happy because now it's kind of like a one-off. There's nobody making them anymore. So it's an obsolete piece. And it's way cool, okay? That kind of concludes this. I hope you enjoyed it. I figured I would give you all a little insight to what I'm planning on doing in the future. Because, you know, you keep watching the channel, you never know what to expect. And, you know, maybe some of you may get bored. Like, well, he's been working on his Gremlin for, I don't care about a Gremlin. Or all he does is work on Corvettes, and so they get tired of that. But maybe if I, like, tease y'all, you know, a little bit, let you know what's coming, it'll keep you engaged. That's what I'm hoping for. Because I'm a real small channel, but I want to be a big channel. I would like for, you know, you tell your friends and everybody else get to enjoy what I do here in this garage. I love this hobby. Unfortunately, you know, we're spread out. We're way out in the country, and I don't have, a lot of my friends are so far away, they don't really stop by very often. And when they do, it's usually because something's broken on their car. Or if I call them up and say, hey, let's go pick up a car. I need to pick up a couple of them, and I need your help, whatever. But we don't get together a lot. We do shows every once in a while and stuff like that, and I'll try to air those as well. But this is basically my life for the next year or more. That Barracuda is going to take quite a bit of time, as you can see. But I'm going to actually use parts that are out in the field, that I have for parts cars, and cut those off of the original cars, and I'm going to put them on that Barracuda to fix that whole inner fender structure and the radiator support and everything. Yeah, so if they check the numbers on the radiator support, it's not going to match because it's coming out of another car. Oops, it's a 318 3-speed car. And it needs repair. That one's no good. I could try to fix the numbers and weld them in. I'm not going to go through all that. If you buy a replacement, you lose the numbers anyway. Hopefully they won't think I stole the car because I never thought about that. And it's like, this comes back to a 72B body, not an E body. Like, well, oops. Hopefully they'll understand that, or I'll just maybe rub it out. I don't know. We'll figure that out when the time comes. If that car's way down the line, I'm collecting parts for it now because things are getting expensive. And like I said in another video, I am buying parts now and storing them because they're getting so expensive. I won't be able to afford to do this in the future. And I would like to retire from my regular job at some point, and then money will get tighter, and I'll have a budget. So if I get all the stuff now, I can just keep on working on this stuff until God calls me home. But anyway, enough of that stuff, and this is my conclusion. Do me a favor, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so. I appreciate some subscribers. I'd like to know y'all are watching. It makes it all worthwhile, And I always try to address the people who don't watch, which I guess if they don't watch, they're not going to hear me say this. Well, how about, I will go this way. The ones that do watch, but for whatever reason don't like that video. Instead of just hitting the dislike, which that doesn't happen often, thank God, but when it does, I'm like, well, why didn't you like it? I want to know. So do me a favor and what do you call that? Like, just kind of throw it in the comments. That'll work. Throw it in the comments why you didn't like it. Say, didn't like your shirt because it had a Ford on it. Right? It's got a Ford. It's a cool Ford. Or I don't like Corvettes. Or I tried what you did and it didn't work. I just had a guy, and I understand it. And thank you for subscribing. I think he was a subscriber. And I appreciate your comment if you watch this video. I had a guy say he watched me kind of cheat. I was filling the air conditioner, and I turned it upside down to put it in as liquid, which is not a good idea, right? If it goes in as liquid, you can't compress a liquid and boom, you can blow up your compressor. But he saw me doing it, even though I said verbally, don't do it. He saw me actually doing it, so he copied me. And he was like, I hope I didn't hurt my compressor. Well, thank God I don't believe he did, because if you do what I did, I'll flip it for about 5 seconds and then let it, it equalizes, and then I'll do it again, and it just speeds up the process. But in reality, it's a don't try this at home thing. So you gotta listen to the video, the audio, Sometimes I do things that maybe you shouldn't do unless you're really comfortable with that type of stuff. It's kind of like, swinging on a trapeze. Looks like fun, right? Yeah, but you fall, you die, right? So don't do everything that I do necessarily because I do it. Listen to the audio, and I will tell you, look, don't do this. If I sit there and grind without safety glasses, don't do that. I try not to do it either because I've got stuff in my eyes. It's never fun. And now I have, fake lenses in my eyes because I couldn't see anymore and I had to get my eyes fixed. So they had to put lenses in there. But needless to say, just because I do it, don't do it unless you listen to the audio. And if I tell you, don't try this at home, well, then you need to be cautious if you try to copy that. That being said, thank you for subscribing. And where was I going with that? Oh yeah, if you don't like my videos, oh yeah, I did say that. Never mind. This is what happens when you get old. I did say, make sure you put it in the comments, but if you really don't like it, just don't watch it.